From the southeastern corner of western North Carolina, this is Folklore. I'm your host, James Hernishan, and this is the last minute of the Western Highlands Conference Finals for the 3A Division of High School Boys Soccer, recorded from the middle of the packed stands at Polk County High School's GM Tennant Stadium on November 18th. The Polk High Wolverines won that game, 1-0, over Pine Lake Prep from Mooresville, and that gave Polk the opportunity to play in the state finals, which they did a few days later at Guilford College in Greensboro. They lost that game to Wallace Rose Hill High School of Duplin County, 2-0. Well, that still makes Polk regional champions, and they have bragging rights from an unbeaten regular season. It was their best showing in almost 20 years. Given that I've been wanting to do an episode on soccer since I started this podcast more than 3 years ago, ever since I became a soccer dad and started watching Premier League games from Europe with my son, I figured this is the optimal time to do it. My guests are boys soccer coach George Alley and two of his top players, seniors Will Garrison and Thomas Varnadore, both of whom were recently named to the 1A, 2A, 3A Far West All-Region team. George was named 3A Coach of the Year. Now, I know the boys soccer team isn't the only one to have accomplished big things over the past few years at Polk High. The volleyball team, for example, deserves its own episode for sure. But soccer seems to be having a bit of a moment as the country prepares to co-host the 2026 World Cup, along with Canada and Mexico. Plus, this year's U.S. Major League Soccer final will feature none other than the legendary Lionel Messi, now of the Miami Heat, as his team takes on the Vancouver Whitecaps on December 6th. In any case, soccer is pretty much the only professional sport I can claim to have any real understanding of. So here you go, the first sports episode of Folklore. I talked with George, Will, and Thomas at the high school on the day the boys were handing in their jerseys for the very last time, just a few days after the last game of their high school careers. Hey guys, welcome to Folklore.
James, thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
All right, let's start off with you, George. How long have you been doing the soccer program here?
So I've been doing the boys for 3 years, but I've been helping out with the girls since 2017.
So 8 years.
8 years total and 3 years head coach of the boys.
And Will, again, how long you been playing soccer?
Probably since I was 4 years old. That's when I started.
And Thomas?
Same. 4 years old, Rick.
Okay, so soccer has been a big part of your life for a while. Now, when I started following soccer, my son was, as you know, was part of the program before he left the school. And so I've been coming to games for a while. This last year has been remarkably different from the previous years, I think. Maybe that's not fair. Maybe the previous year was halfway in between, you know. But George, when did you really start seeing the Polk team exceed expectations?
Probably this year, but you know this group of seniors, we had them since they were Patterson say we're sophomores, and I think a lot of us kind of knew good things were going to happen the senior year. We went 11-10 sophomore year, 15-5 last year, and then I don't think we anticipated we would be undefeated, but I think we had a pretty good feeling we were going to do pretty well this year. It's kind of a building slow progression through the last 3 years.
Now, what's the composition of the team? Is it almost all seniors?
So 11 seniors and 5 juniors and a couple of sophomores and 1 freshman.
Okay, so not a bad mix. You've got some folks that'll be left over for next year.
There's a little to build on.
Yeah. When this last season did you know something might happen?
Well, I felt pretty good. We came out with a pretty convincing win over West Henderson, and that, I think, made me feel pretty good to get that one under the end of the belt. But I think probably beating Asheville at home 1-0 made us all kind of look at each other and say, hey, if we can take down a 6A team with a pedigree like Asheville, we can probably compete with anyone. And I think we stepped it up onto the next level from there.
You guys have any other thoughts on that realm? Like when did you feel like, hey, I think this year might be our year?
For me, I feel like when we beat Owen, that's because I knew Owen was going to be a really good team. And we were losing to them at one point, and then coming back and beating them is what really made me realize.
Yeah, and for me, it's when we tied Patton at the beginning of the season, because there's a lot of talk about them being 3A contenders for state championship, and I'm like, we can hang with them, we can hang with anyone. So
Now, soccer is, well, as they call in the rest of the world, football, has never really been given the attention level that American football has, right? So why did you two guys choose soccer?
Will?
For me, it is just less injuries in football, something a little less dangerous, I guess. And also, it just seemed more fun to me.
Thomas?
Yeah, for me, my friends I grew up playing, they were all playing soccer, so I just got put into it, and I loved it ever since I started playing.
Well, they call it the beautiful game for a reason, right? I mean, there are moments in soccer which I think is like the pinnacle of sports. Sometimes you just are amazed at what happens. Did you have any of those moments this year?
Like where it felt right?
Yeah.
For me, particularly, I think the win over West Caldwell, which was our 3rd round game. And I went back and I reviewed film, and our overall shape was just spot on almost every time. The game looked better. It was great winning, but it looked even better on film. And I saw us really moving together as a group, and we were just in the right place at the right time. And I thought played our most kind of complete game in that game.
I'm really curious about how the soccer team is received by the rest of the school, because in the past, I think you could sort of not even pay too much attention. I mean, when I went to games, there might be 30, 40 people show up at most to watch. And again, because soccer is not necessarily the most high-profile sport. But when I went to the last home game you guys had, when you won the regional finals, I don't know how many people were there, a couple of hundred or something, and the school band was playing real hard.
Yeah.
And have you felt that the school has considered your contribution to the school differently?
I feel like they have. I've had a lot more teachers just compliment us and congratulate us for winning, and even students just talking to us about wins we've had and how well they thought we've played. Way more than the past, honestly.
Yeah, Sam, I think just winning really helps that out, because if you're losing and it's a sport that no one really cares about, then no one's going to talk about it. But if you're winning, everyone's going to talk about it.
And there's one other little piece of the puzzle that I thought that helped, was that one of our seniors, Blake Anderson, also played football. And oddly enough, some of the football players came out to the game. He was pretty popular on the football team, and he actually, for the first time I'd ever seen it, we actually got some support from the football team, which was nice. And it was nice to see these guys actually get some street cred, around the school.
So is this going to mean something different for next year's soccer program?
Well, we certainly hope that these guys have kind of set a new standard, not only with the level of play, but also with the attention that I think it deserves, at the school community.
What about resources? I mean, I don't know. One reason soccer is the most popular sport in the world in terms of the number of people play is all you need is a ball, and you can sort of create your own net and stuff. And kids in the poorest parts of the world will play soccer because they can afford the equipment. But you still need support. You still need financial support from the school. Do you anticipate maybe you could get a little more of that?
Well, it has been real good. You get to do a lot of fundraising. All these guys, their parents were phenomenal and help us raise money. And then when you have a long home playoff run, you make some money in concessions. And then we have a huge fundraiser once every 2 years for athletics. So the support was really off the chart. We went for a overnight trip to the state finals
Yeah, it must have been like the first in a long time, right?
since 2006, and they hadn't won since 2003. So they really rolled out the red carpet, and Coach Fagan, our AD, has really been supportive about making sure that we have what we need. So I feel pretty good about that side. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like we've had lots of support, just everyone really helping us out.
Yeah, I think the same. Like for volleyball, when they went to state last year, I think we got the same treatment, and I think that's good.
Yeah, volleyball did really well last year. Right?
We're just trying to keep up with volleyball.
Yeah, I want to make sure everybody knows that I'm doing this episode with you guys because I'm a soccer fan. I don't really know much about volleyball, and I don't want to diss volleyball because it deserves as much attention as anything else. But it's my podcast, so I'm doing a soccer show, right? Now, step up to the big picture. The World Cup is going to be happening next year. I think the closest venue is Atlanta. The tickets are hideously expensive.
Yeah.
But do you follow soccer? Do you follow like Premier League or Major League Soccer?
For me, I follow it some. I wouldn't say I'm like a huge follower, but I follow Man City a decent amount. Just like watching how they play, how they possess the ball, and all that.
They did really well last year. I think, yeah. Thomas?
I like check the scores a lot. I like Chelsea. I have an app on my phone for the Premier League, so I can see all the scores, so I can check it.
What about the general awareness of soccer in the school? I mean, because everyone's going to have like a favorite football team, right? And basketball team. And I'm from Canada, so we have like a favorite hockey team. I'm wondering if the future of soccer is going to be more high profile in general. I mean, locally we have you guys doing really well, and then America and Canada are hosting the World Cup. And my suspicion is that soccer is only going to get more and more popular. But I'm just wondering if you have any feelings about that.
I mean, it's the most popular sport in the world for a reason. I think once America really discovers it, and they have, and it's kept growing, and it's pretty great.
Yeah, I feel like it'll definitely keep growing. Because even when I was younger, I feel like it was a lot less known about in the U.S.
And on both sides of the ball too, with the rise of the women's league. And really, it's our women's team is the team that's got the goods.
That's true. And I think the average person on the street might even know some of the names of the women's team, right? And Mia Hamm in the past.
Rose Lavelle and Trinity Rodman, things like that right now.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know that it's the World Cup being here this summer is going to trickle down into the school and make kids more interested. I really think it's, coming out and seeing these guys play, and it's your hometown. Like you said, the band's playing. Super atmosphere that time. And I'm hoping to get them out more and create that atmosphere so that students want to be there.
How the girls play in the spring, right? Any thoughts about how they're going to do this year?
I'm sure you know Coach Rock. He's been doing it forever, and he always has the kids ready to compete. Always, I don't know. I've never seen him lose a first round playoff game. You got a stud like Reeve Carroll, who's coming back, and so they will. I think they'll do well, advance into the playoffs, and have a good season. Yeah.
You guys show up at the girls' games?
I come to a few. I definitely went to the regional finals last year, but I think everyone did. But yeah.
Same with me. I always try to go to some, make sure to support them.
Why did you choose soccer? Now, Thomas, you said you kind of grew up exposed to it, but lots of people do that, and they don't follow through. I mean, I want to understand when there's so much pressure to be a football star or a basketball player, and the girls on volleyball. What is it about soccer that keeps you playing? Thomas first.
Well, I think my parents like really supported me playing it too, which helped a lot. But I just had a passion for it. Like I started playing and I was pretty good at it, and then kept with it. It's just passion.
Well, you guys are both kind of tall. You're probably pretty fast on the field. But it's not a contact sport. It's not a glamour sport in the way, right? Well, I mean, I know. I remember
It's a contact sport for Thomas.
you've broken some limbs, have you not? Yeah. But the goal is not to run into people, right? That's something else.
Depends who you play.
And I'd piggyback on what Thomas said. I had Tom. He was little Tommy Varnadore at the when I had the Kirby Cup for years, and he was a standout player as a I think 10-year-old is when I saw him. So he probably got a lot of encouragement, and I would imagine it's the same for Will. As you play as a kid, and people encourage you like, "Wow, you're good." You stay with it.
Well, what is it about the game that keeps you going?
Really, I've just had so many good memories. I mean, something about it, just I love it. I don't really know exactly what I would say it is. I mean, I've made so many good friends just from soccer alone.
Does the team cohere? I mean, some years I've seen it myself. Some years the team is kind of splintered. It's like different mindsets involved. Some are only there because their parents are demanding they play a sport. What was the nature of the team this year?
I think we've all been playing together for like so long, and then I think even Will, his little brother, like Luke, like it's like friendships, and they go to other friendships, and then we're all just a big family pretty much. So I think chemistry was really good.
Yeah, I think so too. We've all played together since at least middle school. I mean, me and my brother obviously have played since I was probably 4, so that's always been really cool.
Does this extend to your free time? Like, is there a social group that, like, do you hang out together outside of the games?
Yeah, I mean, lots of times we've just gone and hang out and just kick a ball around, just play games.
And what about travel soccer?
Travel is awesome too. Made lots of great friends.
I always found travel soccer to be quite a load. I mean, you have a lot of time in the car going because we're just a long ways away from everybody would play. And parents can find it a lot as well. But you both had really supportive parents, obviously. So there's a hint to parents, hang in there.
I did it the same with my kids. Drove them, but it was I knew it was going to keep them out of trouble. I knew where they were, and when they get to be teenagers, you get windshield time with them, and I know how their parents are going to feel here in a couple weeks. I just know how I felt when like these two guys just handed me their uniforms in today. I knew it was ending, but when Will handed me his uniform today, and I kind of looked at him, I was like, wow, they've been such a part of my life for the last 3 years, and I was like, wow, it's kind of over. I mean, I come back from school and you see them every once in a while, but it's not like it's been.
And we'll talk quickly about next year. When you're going to lose so many really top players in 1 year, I mean, every high school faces this problem. But you kind of implied that you're feeling good about a foundation for next year.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about our team culture. It's team before self and this unity, which these guys completely embodied, and keeping that going with the younger group, I think is critical to keep them interested in the off season. We're going to train in the off season. We'll just be leaner. Like, we had a lot of injuries coming up into the first few rounds of the playoffs, and there was guys that were able to step in and play almost at the same level, and particularly in the first 2 rounds to get us to the third round. And we had our starters back and mostly healthy for the final games. And next year we won't really have that luxury unless some real talent comes in from the 8th grade. We'll be leaner. We'll be like, right at 11, and then it'll drop off a little bit with the subs. So keeping them healthy will be critical.
To wrap up then, what will you take away? What has soccer done for you the last 3 years? 4 years, 5 years, however long you've been playing?
It's created some of the best memories in my life. I'm never going to forget the friends I've made and just the games that I've won and even lost. I mean, it's just taught me to just keep pushing. I mean, no matter what.
Yeah, and for me, it's kinda taught me how to, like, it's not about yourself. It's kinda like it's a team sport, and, you have to share the ball, and it's really like a family, and you gotta, like, work together. So I think that's good for life.
Well, I gotta say, when you guys won the regional finals, I mean, you were jumping like 8 feet in the air, right? And, it must have been tough to lose the final game, but when I saw the score, I said, "You guys have went so far this year. It can't have been devastating, to lose after you've done so much." Am I right? I mean, it was tough, but in other words, your final memories are not the game you lost, right?
Yeah, it was devastating in the moment, and then certainly trying to go to sleep that night and the next day. But then, as you said, I tried to backtrack and focus on all the good that came of it. And you're right. I think long term, the bigger memory for me will be regional champions.
Well, you had a parade through Columbus, did
Yeah,
you
they
not?
they really took care of us.
That doesn't happen very often.
No, you got to go to the finals.
I'm curious as to what is next for you guys because you're done with Polk High. Do you know where you're gonna go?
For me, I'm not entirely sure where I'm gonna go. My plan is to study engineering in college, so I don't know how much soccer I'm gonna play. I mean, I definitely want to do some kind of club for fun.
An intramural
Yeah,
at least?
intramural, something like that.
Thomas?
Same for me. Wherever I go, I'm not totally sure yet. I got a few options, but I'll definitely keep it in my life.
All right. Well, Will and Thomas, good luck with college.
Thank
And I hope you do spend some time on the intramurals because it's good to keep your nose out of the books, somehow. And George, good luck next year.
Thank you. I appreciate it, James. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
All right. Thank
thank
you.
you.
It's a good thing that George, Will, and Thomas are better at soccer than I am at sports journalism. I'll just leave you with some more sound from the final victory of the 2025 season, courtesy of the Polk High Band. As always, you can send your suggestions and feedback to jamesH@folklore.com. Thank you for listening.